This is an MSc module, Climatic Design of Buildings and Cities, where 50% of the assessment of the module is based on a group work looking at the historic city of Winchester and what you could do to make the city more sustainable. So we run a 3-day workshop in Winchester. The Winchester School of Art, which is part of the University of Southampton, is based just here. So we rent some lecture theatres and workshop space here for that week, and then we drive the students to the Winchester School of Art. Then we do a walk around survey for a day of all these areas of Winchester, looking at what we think is what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't. If we know Winchester, it has a very vibrant main street. And if you say, I'll meet you in Winchester, everyone knows you meet just here at this one particular cross in the city. You don't say, I'll meet you outside such and such. Everyone knows you always meet at this point because of the way the city works. But as soon as you move back 1 or 2 streets this way, you come into development which was 1980s, 1990s. Could be retail space, which could be any city centre, and doesn't reflect this historic city at all. And so there is an opportunity to redevelop a lot of this part of the city because it is very tired, poor quality buildings. But we say to the students as a group, through this walk around survey, we want you to identify what are the challenges of this city and what would you recommend as a group to produce a more sustainable city for Winchester going forward. They have 2.5 days on site, and then they have a pitch as a group to the lecturers for an hour, as if they were pitching for the contract with the council to do the piece of work. So you can see Winchester, we have the M3 here, the railway line and the river, and so the city itself is quite constrained because it's a medieval city. So this group tape. We provide students with sets of maps at various different scales, lots of architect's tracing paper so they can explore ideas. So here this group was interested in transport in particular, so they've marked out the motorway, they've identified where there's potential for park and ride schemes, they've worked out traffic flows, how many cars they could avoid going into the city centre, because Winchester has this problem of a one-way system which creates almost like a mini racetrack in the centre of the city. And their strategy to create a more successful city centre was to introduce multiple park and ride schemes. And they were thinking about bus routes, bus loop times, how many buses would you need, and so on. So here we go, they've got one every 10 minutes for this circuit here. And here they've got 500 metres between stops or something. You're thinking about 1,000 parking spaces at this location, and so on. So their solution was number of cars per day, the impact on carbon, the impact on air quality of the city. So it's quite a compelling message as a group design project.